So we know that Kundalini is a spiritual form of energy. It arises up the central line of the body, what we might call the spine, what in more depth we might call Sushumna Nadi in the yogic philosophy. I've got some signs that the Kundalini may have already awakened in you, some of the symptoms that you might be feeling if this in fact has already begun its process, because we know that in some individuals this Kundalini energy will wake up super fast, like it did in me. It'll erupt in a rapture of bliss and ecstasy. But for others, it's a more, and seems like most people, a more gradual process. There's no better or worse. That's not how this works. But here are some signs and symptoms that you will be feeling inside of yourself, or you'll be noticing if your Kundalini has already woken up inside of you. So the first sign that you might begin to realise as your Kundalini begins to awaken inside of you is sometimes intense, but most of the time a really manageable pulsation in the third eye. So the third eye is just in between your eyebrows and up in the centre of your head here. And we might notice that as this Kundalini energy rip-roars through your system, that it does create a pulsation, sometimes an intense pulsation, sometimes a pulsation that can lead you to strange experiences inside of yourself, but a pulsation nonetheless, like a subtle vibratory feeling sensitivity in that third eye area. The second symptom or sign that you will begin to realise is that energy will wake you up at any time between 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. Now, when this happens, it's almost like a jolt, like it almost feels like in the moment you won't be able to get back to sleep because you're so awake. But it's a choice, isn't it? As soon as this energy wakes you up, you look at the clock, it's 3:33, or in between that sort of time, between 3 and 4 a.m. in the morning. The energy's woke you up. You then have a choice. You can get up, you can do your practices, your sadhana, if you like, and if you haven't got any sadhana and you don't know what the sadhana is, or the training to bring about the highest aliveness of intensity and the highest intensity of energies inside the system, this is what we call sadhana. And if you wish, you can sign up down below for the one-to-one coaching. I'm offering one-to-one calls with people and giving them the sadhana on the back end. It's like private home tuition training. I know how deeply the training has benefited my life, and thank God for my teacher Steve Harrison, who passed these teachings on to me. And you're all welcome to sign up down below if you wish. It's free to apply. It's not free for the coaching. I can't promise you a spot on the coaching because I'm just so busy with it, but you're more than welcome to sign up and we can have a conversation over email and see whether you're the right person for this sort of training. As well, down below there's a free breathing practice that you're more than welcome to sign up for. It will sign you up to a marketing list in which there are products that I'd like to sell you to do with the dark night of the soul or specific yoga things. You don't have to buy them, but the practice itself is free. You can sign up below, and there's a free community for people going through experiences they can't yet explain to other people. Well, in the group we have a group of amazing people that really understand what's going on with you, because they're experiencing it too, and you can come in and have a nice support network there for you if that's what you wish. Number 3, you'll start noticing strange, blissful experiences inside your system. I remember before my Kundalini woke up fully in a big experience, in a big way for me, I used to get these intense heart inner, how can we explain this? Almost like inner orgasms, maybe we can describe it that way. Intense, and this continued for a few years, in fact. Intense pulsations of really good ecstatic energy, and these can come in the heart, they can come in the perineum, the root chakra, Muladhara chakra we call this. Where else might we receive this? I've had some really nice experiences in Manipur chakra. Not that it's about these experiences, it isn't. These are just signs and symptoms that you might begin to realise inside of yourself, because when these experiences happen, you really pay attention. It's like, whoa, something's happening to me that I don't have much control over. I love it, but I don't know what's going on, and this is here to help you, hopefully. So that was that. Strange, blissful experiences, inner orgasms. 4. Your body will jolt. Now, Kundalini is a new form of energy for the system, especially as it wakes up. The nervous system's not necessarily so used to it. We call this, we call it prana. Prana just means your energy, your life force in the body. And if we've gone a whole life without lots of energy flowing through the system, then we can get blockages in the system, perhaps. Maybe we can describe it like that. So when the Kundalini begins to awaken inside of us, it's a whole new burst of energy that our nervous system is perhaps not mature enough to deal with in that moment. And that's why we do the training, the sadhana, to cultivate a nervous system that's ready for these sort of experiences. But whilst it's in this state, you might notice at the start that your body will jolt or twitch. If you have lots of excess energy, in the system, maybe head might roll, head might, like this, or arms might jolt, legs might twitch, and sometimes it can happen in your sleep too, which is really strange. So yeah, there's that. 5, kind of linked to that, strange nighttime experiences. Now there's a state of being in between wakefulness and sleep. It's almost like a deeply meditative state in which sometimes in the night or in the morning, it's not dependent on the time of day, we can get really fun, fizzing, vibratory electricity going through our system. Now if you're interested, it's usually the start of astral projection. If that's something that interests you, not a huge interest of mine, you're more than welcome to Google it and find out what that is for yourself. But strange nighttime experiences, huge energy rushes that course through your body as you have this jaded feeling in between wakefulness and sleep. 6. This one's a little bit less common, but because this is such a powerful energy, you may begin to notice after a while of doing some deep sadhana that if you close your eyes and look up at your third eye, just in between your eyebrows and up, you might notice a purple light, a purple cosmic ball, or potentially, more sporadically, blue cosmic lights that are almost like looking at the end of loads of blue fibre optic wires that light up your inner experience. Now I've never worked out what these are, but I just imagine and believe that they're obviously they're down to the Kundalini, because I'd never experienced them before the Kundalini, but they're fun, they're fun to witness. The lights, colours, the depth of colour, the richness of colour of the like we've potentially never seen in our life before, and that's fun. It's just a nice reminder from life, right, yes, we are connected, this is great, it's an enjoyable journey, and it's beautiful, some of these lights and some of these things that we can see inside of ourselves. 7, this is the final one, and this is kind of linked to chronic fatigue, but I'm not going to use that as the sign or symptom. When we go through a Kundalini awakening, it's a hell of a load of energy, new energy for the system to deal with. Now, this might lead to bodily fatigue, chronic bodily fatigue. But my feeling and your experience will be, as you go along this journey and cultivate that energy in a more sustainable way through consistent practice of your sadhana, you'll begin to notice that yes, the body might be tired, but actually we're more alive energetically than we ever have been before. Strange thing to say, right? But you'll notice it as you experience. There can be erratic highs, ecstatic moments in the energy body, but in the physical body we could be absolutely exhausted. It almost feels like we're shining on the inside whilst our outside feels a bit like a dustbin, sometimes we're bedridden, we have to just lie down and just let the energy take over, which can be really confusing, and I fully get you. But it's in time, with practice, we begin to notice that, oh wow, I'm actually becoming switched on to life. This energy that I am is really ramping up inside of me, and we become more alive on that energetic level. Potentially more fatigue in the body, but energetically so much more alive, until our bodies integrated the experience and is able to deal with it in a better way. But that comes with consistent practice to the sadhana. Okay, that'll do. Thank you very much for watching, and have a lovely day.